Progresses. We've got wool handling most of the morning, right up until lunchtime at least. Kieran Herbert from Te Awamutu on stand number 1, top qualifier into the quarterfinals today. Her teammate, New Zealand teammate, Ronnie Goss. I'm still fascinated about this Ngaio Puha. Haria e mohio. Tera rohe, tera wahi. Not even sure if it is a wahi. But Aria Mullins, Danny Burke, Lenora Smith, Gisborne girl, Te Tai Rāwhiti. Hey, did you watch the Matasini last night? Te Matapihi. I think Te Matapihi are going to make it through to that final.
Okay, Shearers turning to the last side. These wool handlers need to grab that cheek wool out. We've got Lenora down here. Lenora's from up Gisborne, but originally from a little place called Parongaho in the Hawke's Bay. We've got Adia Mullins there. Adia Mullins is the training advisor for primary ITO. Ronnie Goss turns and throws a little bit loose. She doesn't throw it too hard. Lovely throw by Adia. Lovely throw down here on table number 4 as well. How's it up there on number 1?
I think Kieran's got it again on table number 1. A nice throw. Very few points to be taken off on table number 1. She works down the side of that fleece, removing the oddments, what we call the first pieces. Second fleece on the board for competition sheep. 1 minute 10 is the seal time.
Well, these shearers are working their way into the undermine. There's a lot of different oddments around the crutch and the undermine, isn't there, Audrey? We've got sock wool, we've got a bit of short wool, can have a bit of stain, you know, and blocks,
right.
yes. Fooney's wants to do my job. Here, Fooney, I'll catch up with you later. But it's good to see these wool handlers, Audrey. Good to see them here supporting their fellow competitors.
It sure is. They're all back at the table. Fleeces are gone for 1 and 2. Kieran Herbert not quite happy with that fleece.
Kieran Herbert not happy with the fleece? I don't believe you. Okay, here we go. Wool handlers, second fleece about to hit the table. Let's see what these wool handlers can do. Come on, these shearers are not mucking around. Lovely throws down there. Adia Mullins, not too bad. A little bit overhanging. These fleeces seem rather big this morning, Audrey.
Rather good, did you say?
They seem fairly big.
Fairly big. I absolutely agree. I was going to make that comment myself. They are kind of the same. There's no little pearlers. Yesterday I remember Kieran getting a real, what we'd call a little honey. And I'm looking for those ones today. If you're lucky enough to get one of those, you've got to make the most of them, Tima Mullins.
Yes, you're dead right. There doesn't seem to be many little honeys in these mobs of sheep these days. Work the neck work, the shearers, the wool handlers are right there. They'll stay there until that cheek wool comes off and then they'll shoot back to their fleece. We've got 4 competition fleeces, 1 minute 10. That's not a lot of time to clean up. Not a lot of time at all. So we're really putting the pressure on these wool handlers. Congratulations to the committee. You know, we need to see pressure on these wool handlers. Adia Mullins, Lenora, they back to their fleeces, skirting furiously. This Lenora, she gets down, she lets out a big grunt. Come on, let's go. Ronnie Goss. Ronnie's a cruiser, isn't she, Audrey?
Always been a cruiser, always has a smile on her face. It's really hard to believe this girl can actually get serious, Ronnie Goss, but she can, believe me. And she's no stranger to the finals at the Golden Shears either. Some big names on that honours board. I'm sure any one of these competitors would love to be the 2015 Open Wool Handling Golden Shears champion, Tuma.
Yes, you're dead right. Lovely throw down here on table number 3. Adia Mullins, Lenora She's got a lovely throw as well. These wool handlers, you know, even though these fleeces are challenging, these wool handlers are still making it look easy. Adia Mullins works her way around the top of the fleece. She pulls out the neck wool. There's a lot of neck wool in there, Audrey. A lot of neck wool.
There is a lot of work on these fleeces. You know, it's a real luck of the draw if you get one that needs a few of the points removed, and that's about all. But just looking at the first piece baskets, they are getting quite full, and they are already on fleece number 3, last one at the board.
It's amazing how things have adapted in the last sort of 10 years, you know, the way these wool handlers roll. You know, once upon a time, you were allowed up on the board. You know, you're allowed right up on the board and you could bounce around the shearers. You know, the rules have changed over the years, haven't they? You used to be able to skirt on the board, up on the board as well.
I wouldn't say changed. They're more refined because as these wool handlers develop these skills, so must the competition to cater for to allow these wool handlers to show their skill level. And you're right, I was thinking about how we used to jump up and down the board and wear the knee pads and the headbands.
Well, 1 minute and 10 seconds time has started. Now you'll see the urgency, Audrey, the urgency that these wool handlers need to get this them all finished up in 1 minute 10. There's not a lot of time. Lenora, she's got a lovely little fleece down here. Not a lot of skirting to do on it. Let's see how this Adia Mullins does it. Oh, Ronnie Goss, Audrey, what is she up to?
You just don't ever underestimate this lady. Kieran Herbert on table 1, she's ready to roll, puts that fleece away. Nothing in the throws at all. Lenora's still not quite happy with the job on that fleece down there on table 4, but don't discount it because these fleeces will go out the back. Another set of judges will be going through those fleeces and oddments. 1 minute 10, Tuma. Anybody looking like a finish down your end?
Adia Mullins will be the closest one. Let's see. She goes. Up goes the hand.
Ronnie Goss on 2, not far behind Adia Mullins. Kieran Herbert looking like a reasonable job. Well done, Kieran Herbert.
In the juniors and novice and even a bit into the seniors, we saw their cleanups. They were a little bit untidy underneath. You know, there's a lot of wool left underneath. Is that because, you know, the seal time at the end is a bit too much, you know, or probably not enough? Time from Leo.
We can have the next heat read out, please, John.
Yes, we have Marianne Beatty on table number 1, Krishna Abrahams on 2, Anita Phillips on 3, and Rocky Harpy Tate on number 4. The following heat will be Kohukura, Morel, Potai, and Waihapi, followed by Huri, Graham, Alabaster, and Hanari.
Well, Tuma, you talked about the clean-up jobs and why the novice juniors tend to rush it a bit. I think that comes down to experience. You watch these open competitors, they are still pretty slick. I haven't, you know, the jobs are not too bad. They're probably the better of all grades, and so they should be. But that's pressure. That's what that sealed time will do, Tuma.
And it's anything the size of a credit card, isn't it, that's left behind is 1 point.
That's correct. A credit size wool is worth 1 penalty point, and they can add up.
Are some of these judges' credit cards bigger than other credit cards?
Is that a trick question?
Do some of these judges have credit cards? Are they allowed credit cards? Okay, we got the green light. Can we have our shearers to the board? Timekeepers ready. Shearers, get set, go.
Marianne Beatty, no te tai rāwhiti. Kushla Abraham, Whakaoriori, Anita Phillips, no Taumaranui. Rocky Hape Taite, Tamaki Nui Arua. Ne, tika? Hapai.
This Rocky Hape Taite, he's got the Wool Systems training pants on. Trackies, the Wool Systems is a new training outfit that's going around the North Island. And he's one of the lead trainers there. Very, very good competitor. He's everywhere. He's all over the North Island, South Island, and even Australia. He's been a New Zealand representative in Australia. So a very good competitor. Anita Phillips, haven't seen Anita around for a while. She's up Taumaranui, good to see you here. Kushla Abraham, she's another one, all up and down the country. And Marianne Beatty, she's one of these new bloods you're talking about, isn't she, Marianne?
Well, she's knocked the door down a couple of times, I believe. Not too sure where and when. I remember hearing her name around the Alexandra Fine Walls. I might be wrong. But, lovely to see these young wool handlers coming up and just tapping these older wool handlers and saying, hey, we're coming. You better move over.
Lovely fleece for Rocky. Oh, I think that Kushla Abraham might have the best throw there, Audrey. What do you reckon?
Well, 1, 2, 4. Anita, some drop in the front there, not too much. Still a lovely, lovely throw. Looking at the points above, Marianne Beatty and Rocky on 5 each, 10 on 2 and 3. So they're still fairly consistent and can change very, very quickly, as you know, Tuma.
They certainly can. These wool handlers are right there with these shearers. They all have different little styles there, Audrey. Some of them, they're quite erratic and, they look out of control, but obviously they're not because they're open competitors. And then you got the cruisers like Ronnie Goss. You got little short ones up there, and then you got tall ones like Rocky. Rocky skirts the fleece fall from one side of the table usually. But this Anita Phillips, wow, her fleece is gone already. She's adopted that Ronnie Goss approach to it this morning, Audrey.
Taumaranui used to produce, and still do, produce a lot of good wool handlers. Leanne Petty comes to mind, Betty McLeod comes to mind, Linda Tarrant comes to mind. A lot of good wool handlers have come out of Taumaranui. They don't get to see a lot of full wool, but I tell you what, these wool handlers from Taumaranui are very highly skilled indeed. What are we going to see? Fleece 2. Keep coming out, shearers. Keep coming out. I know it's hard to do, but we've got to put pressure on these wool handlers. It's to make it fair for all.
That's right, shearers, no waiting around. As long as the door closes behind you, we want you back out on that board. Just watching the way this Rocky Hape Taite is moving around his table. Very, very fluent. You get people, in the pressing, for instance, Jeremy Goodgie, the way he moves around the press, very, very fluent. Not a lot of effort. And that's the way this young guy down here on table number 4 is working as well. Very fluent around there. Looks like he's got a hold of things pretty good, Audrey.
Well, he is very au fait with the fine wools as well as the crossbred wools. Works North and South Island. Does a fair bit of training in shed for contractors as well as wool shed systems, but I understand Rocky is maybe moving out of our industry, which is a real pity. Marianne Beatty on stand number 1. She's back to her fleece, sets that up. It's quite a biggie, but Gisborne girls, they're used to these big fleeces, Tuma.
Yes, they are. Let's see what Marianne Beatty can do. Oh, yeah. Let's see what Rocky can do. Lovely throw down here as well. These wool handlers, Audrey, you know, when they're setting up their fleece, they're setting it up how they want it to land on the table. You know, so they're getting it, they're laying it flat, and then they're pulling it into themselves so they can get the back legs, squeeze them together, and have a nice throw.
Absolutely. That first fleece as it's being shorn, no pressure on the wool handler so they can really fine-tune that pickup of that style that they've fine-tuned as well. I have to say, Anita Phillips, that throw was probably one of the better ones. She's leading the throwing stakes at the moment, I think.
Just looking up at the monitor upstairs, you can see the points. That's the points on the board that you can see. And at the moment, Marianne Beatty, she is having a dream run. She's on 23 points. She was in line with Rocky Hape-Tate. I don't know how he lost his points, but there will be a method to it. But here we go. Shearers coming down the last side. Wool handlers working away with them. These judges on the board, Audrey, they are watching for all the faults on the board, aren't they? And then out the back we have our other judges in the dungeon.
Sorry, Tom, I didn't quite catch that last sentence of yours, but I've been watching Marianne here on table number 1. As she was rolling that third fleece, she had one eye on the roll and the other eye was on the shearer as he was coming down that last side. She is having a dream run on stand 1. This girl is on fire.
Rocky turns and throws. Lovely. These wool handlers are really putting on a display, Audrey.
Well, quarterfinals time. Only 12. No, how many are going to come back? 8 semi-final? Usually. So, you know, competition is tough. No time to relax. First to roll, Marianne. Anita Phillips, stand 3, not far behind her. But we've seen the last person pick up their broom and still finish first. It's all about the organisation, Tuma.
It certainly is. Come on, Rocky, you're a little wee ways behind at the moment. He pushes the table over. Get out of the road. Here he goes, broom in hand. Oh, we got time for Marianne Beatty. She's had a very, very good run, but just looking around, Rocky Hape-Tate won't be long until he'll be putting his hand up. There's not a lot of second pieces left in there, really. Mostly locks in there. Come on, competitors. There we go. Well done, Anita. Time for Rocky.
Well done, Kushla. That completes heat number 2. John, who have we got for heat 3?
Heat number 3 is Anna Marie Kokura, Lani Morel, Monica Potai, and Funi Waihapi.
Anne-Marie Kahukura. Yeah?
Yes, correct.
Kahukura.
Throughout history, Kiwis have pushed the boundaries, embraced new ideas, and built a country that has become a proud provider of food for the world. Today, people in our primary sector continue to be innovative and brave, continually seeking to change the game, finding ways to improve productivity and profitability, and creating sustainable businesses and jobs. Qualified people build better businesses and better careers and support the economic growth of the primary sector for the benefit of all New Zealanders. We will change the game. That's just what Kiwis do.
Primary ITO are the sponsors of this event. Thank you to the Primary ITO. Leaders in training in all sectors, dairy, forestry, sheep and beef. You know, that's just to name a few, Audrey.
He whānui tāku. People, there's a car park out here on the right, as you're looking out onto the road there, to the right. It's a 10-minute car park. Please do not park in there. You are looking at a fine of up to $45 just to start with, and then it goes up from there. So please do not park in the 10-minute car park.
Shearers to the board. Timekeepers ready. Shearers, get set, go.
Anne Marie Kahukura, no Umakau, Umakau. Lani Morel, Whakaoriori, Monica Portai, no Milton. Whuni Waihape, no Te Tairāwhiti. Heat number 3. We've seen the first 2 heats. Pressure is on these last 2 heats. They know what they have to do if they want to come back and compete this afternoon. Big step up from the heats. Into the crutch wool, everyone's working, removing those short wools, they're discoloured wools. They might take the dye, but they can only be dyed dark colours. Tuma, what are you doing back there? Did you have a late night?
No, I didn't have a late night. I'm just kicking back. It was a little bit hard to see the first table from where I was.
If I see those dark glasses go down on your face, you better watch out.
I left them in the van. Okay, here we come down the last side. The shearers are working away nicely. The wool handlers right there with them. Okay, we've got 9 baskets around the table, ladies and gentlemen. And every basket there should be 1 line of wool. Actually, I think we've got 1 spare basket. So that's how it works. Lani Morel turns and throws. Lani's been doing very, very well in the shows lately. I've seen her in the winner's circle with a ribbon around her neck just lately. So well done, Lani. Monica Portai, lovely throw down there on table number 3. Funi Waihape, there she is on table number 4, working away. Just when these wool handlers are skirting these fleeces, ladies and gentlemen, they are trying to add value to the main line. And what happens is when you've got the first pieces on that fleece, you know, the fleece is devalued. So the main fleece could be worth $4.50 a kilo, and the first pieces, you know, sort of $2.50 to $3 a kilo. So that's what happens is the main fleece, that's where all the money is, but it's got all these other little sort of bits around the edges that devalue it. So we take all those little bits off and get that fleece up to its ultimate premium. Isn't that right, Audrey?
Yes, you're right, Toma. I can barely hear you. I'm not too sure if it's our microphones are tuned down slightly or taringa turia hau, he kuia hairea hau. But just not quite hearing you clearly enough, Toma. I watched the fleece throw on table number 1 for Anne-Marie. She had the Australian judge on her at the time. She had a big, huge throw that was mostly good, except for quite a bit of an overhang at the front. Much better throw for Anne-Marie.
Okay, here we go again. These wool handlers working away. Good pressure shearers, that's what we want to see. We want to see these wool handlers under stress. Because in a typical shed situation, there is always a lot of stress on these wool handlers to keep the board clean, stay out of the road of the shearers, and work with other wool handlers as well. Because in a wool shed, it's usually one-on-one, isn't it, Audrey? You know, the shearer, shed hand, with the long wool, it's usually 1 wool handler per shearer.
4 shearers, 4 wool handlers, and it makes a huge difference, especially on a closed board. We worked out that you spend 50% of your time transporting wool on a closed board, and only 50% of that time actually preparing it. So if you use that calculation, there's not a hell of a lot of time to actually prepare wool on a closed board. They should be outlawed, closed boards.
Raised boards are the place. Raised boards are good. Okay, next fleece is about to hit the table. These shearers shearing away nicely. Thank you very much, Patty Mason and your crew. Nice throw by Funi. Look at that Monica. She just turns, throws. What an athlete. Lani Morel, a little bit overhanging on the side. Wonderful camera footage up there on the big screen. You know, you can see straight down on top of the table. Isn't it awesome the way technology is these days?
It has been absolutely fantastic watching the screen, and then we see a couple of faces come up on the screen as well in front of the shearing board. Those people are talking on the World Wide Web. Timmer and I have jumped on, and that's a little green room upstairs to the right-hand side of the stadium. And we're talking to people that are zooming in from all over the world, and it's just so easy to keep in touch these days. Back to the board, back to the table for some of these competitors. Anne-Marie, she's still got a bit of work, just wants to do a little bit more preparation on that fourth fleece.
We've got Funi Wairarapa down there on table number 4. Fleece is in the fad. She's leading the speed stakes at the moment. It's good, isn't it, how these open competitors support each other, even though most of the time they don't even like each other. But that's one thing that they'll get over. They'll get over themselves and support their mates. Here we go.
Time has started for these competitors. 1 minute 10 is the sealed time. 1 point every 5 seconds up to 1 minute 10. After the 1 minute 10 time, it is 1 penalty point per second, and I have noticed it is a killer for some of these competitors.
One minute and 10 seconds, time is ticking. Come on, you wool handlers. That's why the cleanups have been not 100% a lot of the times, because it's not, 1 point per second, that's a lot of time to lose. Funi, come on, because Monica Putai has rolled up her fleece. Lani Morel is right there with her as well. Anne-Marie Kahukura, what are you up to? Come on, these other wool handlers got the broom in hand. Here we go. Come on, Funi. Funi knows how to swing the broom. Here she goes. She's got the broom in hand. We got Monica Portai, got the flash pink chucks on there on table number 3. She's nearly ready to put her hand up. Here we go. Funi's moving her way around. Look at these wool handlers showing, the brooms aren't making a heap of noise. Audrey not clanging. Oh, Monica Portai.
Lovely heat. I'm sure we'll see 1 or 2 of these competitors coming back a little bit later on. We've got one more heat to come after this. But it's Broom down here on table 1, working away. Still a few locks and second pieces to be sorted. Funi, how's Funi going? Time for Funi on table number 4. Lani's happy with her job. Anne-Marie, not too far away. Give them a hand, ladies and gentlemen. That completes heat number 3. Kia ora, John.
Okay, now just the judges are working away there. We do have a phone that was handed in from the ladies' convenience. Handed into the microphone table. If you can identify it, we will release it.
It's a Samsung.
I haven't touched it, I haven't opened it up.
Oh, bugger.
You been in the ladies' loo?
Maybe.
Anything's possible in 2015. Our next line of competitors is Candy Hitty on table number 1. On table number 2, Shani Graham. On 3, we have Cherie Alabaster and Joel Hanari on stand number 4, table number 4.
Hey, John, just a word to all competitors. We had a young junior competitor last night. His car was broken into and his shearing gear was taken. If you're going to leave your shearing gear in your car, leave it in your boot or keep it covered so nobody can see it. I'm not sure how it went for him, but yeah, all his shearing gear was taken last night. So just be mindful of that, people. We feel sad for this young guy. He's just starting out his career and that kind of rubbish happens. So, just put the word out there. Just be mindful of your stuff. Looks like we've got the green light. Can we have our shearers to the board, please? Who top qualified into this? Into the
Kieran Herbert.
Kieran Herbert.
I think quite comfortably, from memory, about 13 points. Around
Wow.
about.
Timekeepers ready. Shearers, get set, go.
From the South Island, Mataura, Candy Hiri. Another local girl. Masterton, Shani Graham. Sri Alabesta won the Worlds in Norway in 2008 from Taihape on stand number 3. And of course our young master blaster Joel Henare from Gisborne, Tuma.
Yes, young Joel Henare. You know, not enough can be said about this guy, and he's so young. Him and his partner, you know, they cruise around the place doing all these competitions. A lot of the times being in the money. You know, and a great competitor. We've got Cherie Alabasta there on table number 3. Cherie is a school teacher. She does not work in the wool sheds anymore. She did very well on Wednesday. She won the pre-shears just up the road, the pre-shears show. And they were handling these same fleeces there as well. So, you know, if you're really serious about wool handling competitions, get to the pre-shears show. You know, there's sort of no substitute for, you know, handling the fleeces that they're going to handle here at the Golden Shears.
Big fleece on table number 1 coming. We've got the Australian judge standing there waiting. These Australian judges, I tell you what, they are pretty pinpoint accuracy on their penalties for throws. We've learnt a lot from our exchange of having judges from Australia come over, as I'm sure they have too, Tuma.
Joel Henare working his way around there, fingers going flat out, you know, not taking the care not to pull out too much wool on his first pieces. He's worked his way around. He's done one side of his fleece. He's done the top. So that's the neck wool that's come off as well. And then he's run back to his shearer.
We talked about styles earlier on. Who would you say Joel Henry's style is like? If we think about past wool handlers, not dead wool handlers, alive ones.
Oti Mason.
No, I said live ones.
Well, he's kind of. He won't be at the moment. It's a little bit too early for him. But here we go. Joel Henare, you know, got those electric fingers running around. He's rolling up his fleece. Nice, tight, compact roll. You know, you junior wool handlers, you should be here watching how these open wool handlers roll their fleeces up. That's how they roll. This fleece that Joel has got looks a little loose. Let's see how he handles it. Loose be blowed, he reckons.
Ooh, nothing in it at all. Tables 3 and 4, I think, is still just, might have clipped 1 and 2, but absolutely nothing in these throws. You know, Cherie Alabesta looks like she's been hitting the CrossFit field. Tima looking really, really sharp this year.
She certainly is. CrossFit and having a little wee girl to run around after would keep any lady skinny like that, Audrey. But here we go, wool handlers working away. We got Cherie Alabasta there, the pre-shears winner on table number 3, working away with her shearer. Joel Henare, he's on table number 4 down here. He is the informed horse. I think he's paying $1.75 with the TAB at the moment. I think Kieran Herbert was next up. I think she was paying $4.50. But this is a couple of days ago that I had a look at that. They may have changed. But here we go, roll up time down here for Joel Hinari. Nice, tight, compact roll.
For a man so young, he has a wealth of experience under his belt already. Not only here in New Zealand, but Australia. He's really made a reputation for himself, Joel Hinari. And at the ripe old age of 25, he's still got a hell of a lot more to give.
Well, wonderful throws down here. And just looking up the top on the screen, you'll see Joel's points. 23 points.
I'm just looking at Candy's face. She doesn't look too impressed. I thought she's made a brilliant job of that throw. Huge, long, quite a long fleece. I can see the fibres just poking out. Looks like there's a fair bit of work in that fleece as well.
We were talking the other day, Audrey, about, the wool handling here. The Golden Shears, how it's full wool and that. And we were thinking it would be good to get a camera sort of just above the shearers and focus it down on the wool handler so you can see their expressions as they're working away with the shearer. I thought that would be quite cool.
Actually, that would be very, very cool. And the way that technology is moving these days, I'm sure that won't be very far away. I'd hate to be competing because, man, there's some ugly faces when you got to go up and run like hell. You're panting, you're sweating. Not the prettiest sight to my Mullins, as you know.
Oh, I thought you said women don't sweat. You say one thing. But here we go. This is the last fleece, is it, Audrey? Or have we got
Last
one more?
fleece. No, time will start now.
Lovely throw down here, table 4, a little bit of bunching. Watch this Joel Hinari. Underneath his table is pretty much cleared, Audrey. He's pretty much cleaned under his table. He's not going to have a lot left. We're going to see an ultra fast finish here. Here he goes. He's moving around the top of the table. Neck wall gone. Coming around the other side, getting the first pieces off the other side of the fleece. His fingers are going hard. Yes, I see the Orty Mason fingers there. Roll up time here. We're probably only gone about 30 seconds. And here he goes. Here he goes, this Joel Hinari. Cherie Alabaster from Taipi, table 3, trying to keep up. But I don't think she's got any show because Joel Hinari, he's got the brim in hand and there's not a lot of wool left under his table. Look at that, he's on his knees, sweeping like a maniac. There he goes. Come on, Joel Hinari. You won't be far and you'll be putting your hand up. Here we go, Joel Hinari. Audrey.
What a job. What a job. I'm down here with Candy Hitty on table number 1. She has had the shittiest fleece, I have to say. I have to be honest. But she has managed and coped with that so well. Amazing job you've done, Candy. You go, girl.
Time for Cherie. Look at that, Audrey. I think Joel was probably about 20 seconds at least in front of the next quickest. And he's got a great score up top as well.
Well done, Candy.
That's the end of
Throughout
the,
history,
primary ITO
Kiwis have pushed the boundaries,
Open
embraced new
quarterfinals,
ideas, and built a country
now
that has
move on
become a
to
proud
the
provider of food for the
Puni
world.
Kilkirty
Today,
Senior Woolhandling
people in our primary
semi-finals,
sector
Heat
continue to
one,
be
Adrian
innovative and
Samuels,
brave,
Anna
continually
Braddock,
seeking to change the game,
Joanna Smith,
finding ways to improve
and
productivity
Canadians
and
Cole
profitability,
Shaw.
and creating sustainable
They are the
businesses
four
and
competitors
jobs.
in Heat 1.
Qualified people build better businesses and better careers and support the economic growth of the primary sector for the benefit of all New Zealanders. We will change the game. That's just what Kiwis do.
The TUI invitation team will be competing after lunch. To report in before the morning's finished, we got Jeff Kringle, John Hodder, Barry Kidd, Catherine Maluli, Laura Bradley, Carmen Smith, Trevor Wilson,